watch your eyes twinkle. Microphone check, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Perfect. None of that trash talk was captured. The streets are safe.
Hey, we don't
Niggas
know.
run up like,
We don't
yo,
know
my
the
nigga,
audio
that's-
side.
yeah,
We don't know
that-
the. We don't know the audio
I think
side.
that's good,
We don't know.
But you know, man, we don't put it out unless Tavi decides to.
Yeah, you know how Tabby does.
You have to think about it like.
Every time like, your Tabby leaves this out, he leaves it. Like cut it out like it does a up in. Bro.
That's why you should say it. It's just. This is where the episode starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you say anything, then it's gonna decide otherwise, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you already know what it is, man. Welcome to your favorite or soon to be favorite podcast, hip hop or music podcast. This is No Hidden Agenda, episode number 146. 146. You already know, man. And hope you're good out there, man. And if you're not, we promise we're about to change that with this episode. And this week it's crazy. I had to go do it out there, like Maradona style, like Messi style. Go out there like one man, so that the team is like, hey yo, man. That couldn't have been a Ballon d'Or performance because this is a team sport, but you play to the Ballon d'Or level, so we need to come back and pull up on you so that we do this shit as a team so that you win your Ballon d'Or next week, you know? I got the whole fucking team out here, man. I got the whole fucking team. I got the Joburg Bachelor, a.k.a. Cash Money Millionaire. What's good, my dog?
Easy. Cash Money Records taking over for the 99 in the 2000s. Shout out to Juvenile. He's got a Tiny Disc concert. Go check that out. Old school hip hop. I'm good, gents. Great year so far. Has its challenges. The homies know, but you know, one day at a time, the Almighty got us, we're here. And I was looking forward, like, besides parties, I was really looking forward to being around the homies. You know, winters force us to be indoors, but on the flip side, winter's got some great hip-hop events, intimate spaces. We're going to touch on that a little bit. But yeah, good, really excited just to be here. Shout out to Mauta, really enjoyed the one-man. Mauta getting into his Bill Burr, you know.
Shout out,
yeah,
shout
and
out,
just to
shout
put the
out.
man on the spot, you know, we Ballon d'Or players don't just give you once-off Ballon d'Or performances, so we, the crowd, will be looking forward to more of those performances. Otherwise, us Jordan haters will give you that LeBron tag, like, yo, do it again, bro, do it again.
Do it again.
Yeah, but glad to be back with the...
Times though, you gotta do
Like,
Yeah, six
we still done it 4, but I mean, like,
we need six more. Two more. Then you'll be cemented, bro. You'll be cemented.
Hey, man.
Yeah,
but
but-
then what I love is that, hey, yo, the streets will always remember. That's the only award I want. I don't even want the Ballon d'Or with that episode. It's like, about the past episode, it's
Yeah.
like, nah, the streets will never forget.
I love how niggas use the streets, you know, to put weight to anything. They want to solidify, like, yo, you know, like, especially when niggas behave, like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we see niggas out there in the game doing their thing with music, you know, but we for the streets, you know, the streets be holding us down, bro.
Yeah.
Don't act like you wouldn't take that money, that contract,
they
that
be hating
performance,
this
that
shit.
limelight, bro.
They be
But
hating this
yeah, but I just good. I'm really
But I
excited
think
to be
the
here.
most important question for me is, are you still the favorite uncle?
Bro, I went from the favorite uncle. Uncle Cash is now, what up, Mzanzi? This is your favorite Zimbabwean, Uncle Cash. AKA Uncle Cash, AKA the Joburg Bachelor in the Hize. Yes.
Man.
Like I thought, like, you know, no more more trading lightly, you know. I know times are a bit touch and go with the immigration situation. Like, no, but I'm my own that. I'm my own. Yeah, like, nah.
This is where I'm at.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I decided to go in like, one of PK's first mixtape was Like It or Love It. There was no space to hate. So, yeah, we hear all that anti-foreigner sentiment. We
Shout out
understand
to
some of the
PK
critics
right
justified, but Uncle Cash is a different breed of an immigrant, so you can only like or love it. There's no space for hate. Yeah, so especially when you're on the No Hidden Agenda podcast,
Shit,
you
we're
know how
fucking
we're back. You know how we
really
do.
bad with this talk, man. So the homies are still on that talk, and
Bro, you know,
it's
like-
not that like you've been away just because like you're not about the talk.
No, there are no Arsenal tendencies over here. I support the team, but nah. When it comes to the clutch moments, towards the end, we ain't dropping the ball from. Always out here, but yeah.
And it's dope that today we even have a tap out there from the
homie.
the homie of the homies of the homies.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Real as shit.
Simple.
Shout out to you. How you doing, my dog?
Always good, man. As I've been saying, hip hop says in a dog.
We
Yeah.
out here, man. And this nigga been like man,
Pushing
like,
that.
This nigga been on the shit. Like, hey yo, This is hip hop. We're supposed to go on, Moss. This is y'all. This is y'all thing. Why y'all not out there, yabo? So this shit is dope as fuck, man. I'm happy to be with the gang here. But to then give special props to where we are being hosted, the studios today.
Ish.
Yes, sir.
So those always love where the studios are at, man. Like
The visuals should let you know.
So I got vinyl. Nina nimisa ngo vinyl underscore T. Tina, we call him vinyl T or
The homie.
just call him the homie.
Teaser.
Or just call him Utiza, yabo. My dog.
Botsabelo's
How
finest.
are you doing with Tabelo's finest?
My current favorite video is hello everybody.
Teaser.
12 dog. 15 too expensive.
15. Macallan 12. 15 too expensive. I'm like,
Hello everybody.
hello, everybody. I'm like, this nigga is taking McKellen to the head like he's doing a court and he's on the golf course. That's what makes that video so funny. Like, yo, man, you're not going to get a cup or nothing. You look the part. Golf cart, everything. McKellen 12. 15 too expensive. That dude is funny.
That's my shit, dog.
Yes.
Every time I finish working, I'm like, come on, let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the energy.
That's the
like
energy.
after work energy. Like, hey, yo, man.
My wife was confused because I've been doing gym and shit. You just gotta do gym. But after gym, I'm like, I want beer, man.
Oh, yo, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
you're on business.
Sorry, that's crazy. My wife is like confused because I've been doing gym lately. That sounds insane.
And then I'm like, bro, I want beer. So yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah, but that feeling actually makes proper sense. Like, remember when Fabregas stood a pizza at Fergie or Pizzagate? That's the first time I found out that like most of these Premier League players, as soon as they're done with the game, in the changing room, they're allowed to have your fatty foods, like some carb energy replacement, the stuff that they normally don't eat.
And beer.
And so it makes sense why, like, obviously it's the burn, it's the workout. Like, I don't even lie. There's days where I've been like, yo,
So
specifically after gym, after the two, like, yo,
So
man,
Grealish makes sense.
oh,
My favorite player in
Yo,
the world
shut
right
up.
now.
Treble winning Grealish.
Hey, yo,
yo, niggas been trying to hate on homie, but I'm like, bro, it's only because you're getting to see it. Like, one person was famous for doing like what Grealish is doing. It was Roy Keane. The only difference in that days you didn't get to see those on so much social media. Those guys were known
but
as soon as they
known as a respectable guy. Like who's
as soon as those guys that era,
He's English, man. They're not giving him too much flack.
yeah, so yeah, it's just I think they're getting blown away at how hammered he gets. People forget where most footballers come from in terms of they've got talent, right? Let's stop
Like,
that.
the man has personality, man. How many like football players are dull? Like
Fam.
the man has personality. It's so good that it shines. I was looking when I was watching the parade stuff.
Yeah.
Like everybody just want to hear him talk. Like
Yeah,
like,
you know what I mean?
charisma, because
Like,
most football
yeah.
players, look, they're people, so sometimes if you don't have it, you can't force it. I mean, there's one picture of Grealish was just shirtless standing on top of the bus. That's, whoever captured that picture, that is fly.
Amazing.
And I remember I think the one season you guys won the EPL, the celebration, Pep was trying to talk, Grealish was trying to hear none of that. Like, yeah, that's why Pep signed me from Villa so I could run circles. I ran circles around you, Kyle Walker. And people were laughing. I mean, it's charisma, it's funny because most of those things are typical, it's boring. Soccer players might be talented, but they're not. Some of them aren't the most charismatic. So, if you get someone who's gonna give you something different as opposed to the usual, like who wouldn't want that? Plus, he's English, so
Which for me is crazy.
It's entertainment,
because
bro.
I feel as if that is the usual soccer player. But it's just that because there's media soccer
training,
players have been
they've
made
toned
to be.
it down. Yeah,
To me, like I've played very like football, and to me that's the general player. Like
in the locker room, athletes.
Like the hip hop nigga, like the basketball niggas have personas. And
Big time, big time.
Yeah, dog,
is
like
gone,
when a championship is won, like Jokic, funny enough, they were just shitting on him about not having a personality of a
bro, I saw
champion.
the-
Yeah,
Like, hey, yo, what do you mean want to go home, nigga?
like I want to go
what
home.
are the pictures with like the champagnes, with
The
those,
goggles,
with the
the goggles.
goggles and everything?
Your coach was like, the job is done. I want to go
those are
home.
sportsmen. To me, those are
It's entertainment,
sportsmen.
bro. It's
Those
entertainment.
are sportsmen, and I mean, if it will have to take like some white dude from England to be allowed to do that on TV to show that's how we are as soccer players, So be
let it
it,
be,
man.
bro, let it
Because
be.
Bro, no one.
who's telling Gabe was butchered to death for that.
You know, they would kill him. But I mean, no one is surprised that Kevin Durant was at the Dreamville sessions because, like you're saying, the intermixing between hip hop and NBA.
what they are.
Rappers want to be ballers want to be rappers. That's what most of them, you have to have charisma to do both. We've seen like those mic clips on YouTube where they start trash talking each other, have a funny moment with celebs on the sideline. You have to be personified characters, but it's charismatic to have that kind of thing. But if you're gonna be like Jokic on some, Jokic's celebration like the way he plays ball. Cool, boom, done, one. Let me go home. Like you just won the first chip for Denver in forever. Like I wanna go home to my family.
But Doc, we just stole your moment. Sorry.
Yeah, I did, right?
It comes with the trouble. But I mean, it's been a while. It's been a while since we here, dog.
And I think that's another thing. I think that's another thing, though. It's like homies have not like spoken to each other on the mic like that. Because I think, though, other people need to get is, I think we've said this a couple of times, but it is important to note that as much as we can speak of this, it's also a different connection when we are speaking on this.
Correct.
No,
Because you're now putting it out there.
It's a different vibe, man. Like it just feels very different. We can speak hip hop all day. Like we'll probably get off this mic and still speak hip hop, but when we get on this, it just feels it's a different kind of connection, and because it's like we were also back with y'all.
Correct.
You know, it's not just us now. We've been having this, but now we have again the pleasure of sharing this shit with y'all, man. So just that shout out to the fans, shout out to everybody. Again, let me finally let Teaser talk.
I'm happy, man. I'm happy. Yeah, we were missing hip hop. And I was so happy. I think like listening to your one man episode. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, I want to say something, man. and I could tell you also want to be like, somebody say something.
Somebody say some shit.
You know what I mean? So I think it's quite fitting that let's talk about hip hop, man. The state of it all. Because it's been a while. It's been a while since we spoke. And I think it just makes sense that we kind of touch base in general. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just off the game. Locals, international, whatever, bruh. So...
And sometimes, but when there's... It's not like it's preseason per se, but to make that analogy, sometimes if you know that the Nuggets won last season, but before the season starts, or when the season starts, you're still looking at like, yo, are you still stop?
Yeah.
Are you still moving the same way? Still dunking the same way? So when that episode drops of last week, there might have been some niggas on some like, yo, what's happening? Nah, we still got it.
Yeah.
We still
relax.
Relax.
Still the voice of hip hop.
Because I was also going to ask you, maybe just to get to it, like, do you feel like it's coming back? I don't know if that's a feeling that's out there, like in the air. Does it feel like hip hop is coming back?
I think let me preface it like this so that I don't stumble in my convos. If I am to take the hip hop is dead rhetoric, because I remember the last time we actually spoke about it here is we were saying we understand what you're trying to say.
You just
But
don't
the
have
hip
right
hop
words
is
for
dead
it.
word
Yeah,
is just
that's
like
not- yeah, that's
too
not
much
it. Yeah,
off, you see.
yeah.
But then to take that as how they just used it, how they wrongly used it, I believe that, it's hip hop season again. And I do think the final push will be the artist realizing that it's hip hop season. Because you gotta realize early that it's hip hop season in order to move a few things. If they don't move a few things, I mean,
Alakain is out here.
That's what
you all saw that.
That's what I'm trying to
You
get
also
to.
that?
So I'm like, are the people moving needles out there?
Yeah.
Because
How nice was that?
Hey, yo, man, I think I think for me, Alakan, I get mad at the convo.
Do you
Because
think we should call him Alakan or we should say Rizin?
Alakan.
Alakan, eh?
Alakan. Nah, fucks with the shout out.
And we killed him, right?
Hey, yo, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
Might want to run that back.
That's the first state of the culture point. Run that back about Alakan, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I think, man.
He's figuring it out, these two personas, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's looking a bit better.
Yep.
It's not like all the way piano, you know what I'm saying? Like it also feels like he took into account what we were all saying, type of thing. Like fuse this shit with piano, but still be hip hop. Because he's going that side and he's like.
That's why for me, though, I think my pushback on that would be, I don't know if I remember clearly what I had said earlier, but my pushback on
You
that.
don't like pianos.
My
That's what you said earlier.
Yeah. But then, I think you understand what I'm trying to say. I know. So, my pushback would be, I think the crowd caught on more to something he already knew. Maybe we can argue then about like it became bad and whatever. But I think in his mindset when this started, this is what he had in mind.
I'll show you the when you get to him eventually. There's an interview he did with Penwell and Spoo.
Oh shit!
It'll give you. They were just talking to him. It'll give you some insights into his thinking.
To like how we just
Man,
that's dope.
Because I think he wasn't sure. You know what I mean? I think from that convo.
Okay.
And what I liked about if you remember how he opened the verse. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I'm recording this in a Prada bucket hat. You know what I'm saying? Just to tell you niggas that like I'm here.
With this is where I'm at.
Yeah, and it feels like he's. Because remember, like, even Cash knows, like, we've always said he wants a hit. You know what I mean? Yep. But I think what he's saying is, like, I figured out how to monetize. And I can be comfortable now. It sounds like it. But, even when we get there, we'll, you know.
That's the first thing I noticed, that the shout out to Speaker, the freestyle he did at Speaker's spot, like, Social Cyphers, the whole nine. He opens talking about that. Like what happened to Alakan.
Yeah.
He's basically spitting. And for me, like my thing was always like, if he went all the way piano, then we're gonna lose Reason the rapper. And he's too dope an MC for us to lose that. Yeah. So like Tita's saying, if he's now figuring out and he's fusing it, great. Because also as part of, we like to document hip hop on the pod. What's great is even when you see someone like him make that move, we will critique it. People have their questions, their reservations, people won't like it, social media, whatever. But it's a journey that you're seeing of a creative stepping outside the box, stepping outside the comfort zone, and we get to witness that. And good, whatever you might have, think of it, good or bad, is you gotta respect the fact that he did that and is now at a space where he's kind of almost figured it out, because it opens a lane for other artists who want to do that and not have the fear of coming from because he was like a rapper's rapper. Because Reason to Alakan is different from Foka. Because Focalistic out the gate was Focalistic. So no one ever looked at Foka from that lens. Whereas we know Reason being like,
I mean, Stogie switched.
2 million the volume, Stogie T, and Stogie's his was seamless in terms of what he did and how he was trying to move. You listen to some of his interviews, but I'm sure even as a creative, as an artist, there was probably stages where he was trying to figure it out. Listen to an interview did with, I can't remember where it was, but he was just speaking about how he had to start.
Isn't it the shit with Sabelo?
Yeah, I think with Sabza, exactly. Yeah, with Sabza.
Kabel, yeah.
So shout out to Sabza, that was dope. So he spoke about how even going back to the club now, being with young producers where he's like, no, homie, don't rap on this part of the beat, do it on the opposite. And it's like, and he's a MC, he's a rapper's rapper. It's like, why would I?
Yeah, that was the shit.
So stuff like that, and just you have to give Stogie.
They were telling the OG, you're rapping too well.
Exactly.
Like OG, like try to take it off beat, and it's like nah. And Nasty's like, hey yo, OG, Trust me. Oh no, theirs it was arson. Also,
Exactly, yeah.
I think. They're like, oh gee, come on, shift that
I
shit.
exactly, but I respect anyone who's willing to be open to new things, because a lot of entertainers or people who create art and content, sometimes they just get so puristic about this, get stuck in their ways, and they miss out being able to branch off or just do other things. It doesn't have to be permanent. So for him to be on the ground as well, seeing what the kids are listening to in the club, the young rappers, producers telling them, rap to like this, and then you figure it out, and then you see the end product. Because you get new sounds, you get also another tier or part of an artist. Because I always think backwards to, okay, when Stokie's done rapping, if no rappers don't really retire, or when Reason is done, the Alakan Reason part of the story is, people might look back and like, yo, but remember that time we couldn't figure him out, what he was trying to do, it worked, it didn't work, he went back to his thing, or it did work, and, you know, some of us, and sometimes you see when conversations online with fans, like, yo, this rapper and he was trying to do this, I didn't know what I was trying to do, but I'm glad Nas is back to now doing King's Disease, Magic, and that kind of thing. But he had his Nostradamus here and there.
Well, you say this rapper and then you're gonna pick your op.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
Jay-Z fans, man. No one's using my guy. Like,
I'm a Nas fan, bro.
Finally did it right. Hey, nigga.
No, but
Shout
I
out,
was,
but you're right.
I was going to ask you guys, what do you think about on the international level? We'll get to the SA artists.
Yeah.
On the international level, like, something that came up in the last few months was just around how there was no hip hop song on the like top 200.
For
whatever.
Billboard, yeah.
Yeah. And there was no number one hip hop album. There's not been a number one hip hop album like internationally. Like on the Billboard.
Correct. Yeah. So which is why also the conversation is it coming back, like even at an international
Even
level.
the international
You
level.
know what I'm saying? Or do you think the international level is going through what SA hip hop kinda went through, let's say maybe 2 years ago? You know what I'm saying?
Cause I get actually where that is coming from. I think if I were to just speak, let's zoom this out to like just the international sphere. Ne? I think what is happening in the international sphere is that there's another change that's happening. So if maybe we were to like track back a bit, when Abo Future and Young Thug were coming in, they were coming in at around the same time as your Coles and your Drakes. But your Coles and your Drakes were the end part of what commercial hip hop was at that time. And at that time, we were not obviously looking at it like that. It was like sort of almost like the latter part of that being what commercial hip hop is coming into trap and it, right? Which is where Abo Future, because they already had momentum in the streets and everything, they took it and then they ran with it, Nabo Tag and them. And so it sort of seems to me that now there is that change of guard again. Of not that, because in America, because the market is so big, it's never really a replacing. Yeah, because this is now hot, that one is now dead. Now it's really about who's getting the limelight. Yeah. It seems like now the limelight is changing to the more, which is funny because I think the mainstream is a bit late, but it's getting into the drill, the Memphis sound, the Detroit sound, very street banger kind of vibe, talking crazy, and it seems as if the owners of the market were not ready for it to take over like that, which is why it seems like it's in disarray of some sort.
Yeah.
Like they see what should come in, but they're like,
The playlist doesn't removing you.
Can something else be
Oh,
hot?
it's from hip hop, yeah. All this shit about bang bang shit, bruh. It's all ops, and ops.
I can't do a top 10 hip hop like on a radio show and everyone is killing each other from number 10 to number 1.
Is that a good thing,
we
though?
we need
the sentiment of it. Do they mean well?
You know, here's what I think. That's a very good question because it speaks to almost like a freedom of expression and almost it feels kind of like censorship. Look, we've always known hip hop. I won't even take it too far back, but
not really.
no, I mean like the content of it. Of like you asked why you think it's a good thing. There are people who think you look.
Is it?
Yeah, you know why it's touch and go? there's a side which we might see this as your suffocating artist expression. If this is what people are liking, put it out. But there's also the side where now there's a lot of killings of like rappers that keep dropping like every other year. A lot of rappers upcoming before even made it.
More devs in hip hop in the last 2 years.
It's ridiculous. Like prominent ones. I mean, almost every day on Twitter, you're seeing a rapper got killed, a rapper got shot. Yeah. So look, some people might say, why censor the music? Let the markets and the people decide. Then there's people say, look, because someone will say this stuff is we've always had violence in hip hop or music in general, but hip hop.
So that's what I'm saying. Maybe they're not censoring, but maybe they're not amplifying it.
That's the thing. Yeah, it's not.
They're just not amplifying.
Yeah, they're not giving it. Like Maodo said, they're not giving it rightfully, like on playlists, on charts. It's not getting what it needs to be. If it was natural, they'd have more of that music on charts and playlists. But also I think it's that whole thing of the message it sends out in light of all these killings. I mean, there's a lot to even just the talks of the right to carry permits and guns. You know, that's a very contentious issue in America right now. Like so many shootings, families, schools, and also if that becomes a very prominent message in entertainment, because hip hop offers it's beyond the music, it's entertainment. That gets mass me. It gets playlisted. Snippets on shows, movies, that kind of thing, and then it becomes a thing of, are we being irresponsible by heightening this? But then the people might come counter and say, listen, that's not really a reason to not let it be where it's supposed to be, because those who are the powers that be, they can make sure it gets to where it needs to be, like they've done with other parts of hip hop. But the fact that, like Mota's saying, they whether we like to admit it or not to make it racy, but the powers that be are for the most part elderly white folks with the levers, the record companies. So they've always been known to chase the bottom line, which is money, and not really care too much about what happens with artists and their lives. Yeah, the effects of it. But if to highlight even more, even if they for once are saying there's a bit of hesitation,
yes,
then maybe that's because
I love the fact that you actually got to, because even the people just about money, are like, because as much as the people about money will always try to control the narrative, the impact of the society will always be there. So even when they force and society, if society keeps on pushing back and back and back, they also are like, this might not even be worth it. You know, we have 6 people now in murder cases.
So that means that internationally or in America, they have some things to think about.
Yes. Well, to be honest with you, I would even say their market is on the decline. Like looking at it from a commercial point of view, I'd even say that their market is literally on the decline, but so that hip hop purists don't fucking kill me. Yes, what you never realize is when the market is on the decline, you become on the incline. Because they are going to push back and say, nah, but we're getting more love. I'm like, nah. People always revert back. People love hip hop. Hip hop is loved all over. So people will always revert back. That's what we're always trying to tell you about commercial shit, that maybe not worry too much about this trendy shit, because people will always revert back.
No, then it definitely feels like they might be going through what SA went through. You know, like on a commercial basis. That's what we are saying, is it coming back? Like commercially, SA, it might have found itself. Because remember, I guess at some stage, the criticism that we got was around too much American and whatever, and Amapiano represented this, and people wanna dance and forget about whatever. So,
which is not the real convo, but
I'm just saying
we
that
get it
at a high level. So I guess it's something to ponder on.
The other thing,
maybe let's ponder in SA. Maybe it will.
Yeah, real quick, I just want to say the other thing with America is with COVID being done, just outside being open, festivals, because the convo is being had on other platforms. There's also that whole thing of music, like your EDM, Bad Bunny, and them are really running up the charts, and the festivals and the music. So you find a lot of that's almost kind of dominating. Not saying that takes away from hip hop, but in light of everything we've just added, people want to be outside now. So same thing like you mentioned with the the narrative with SA Hip Hop at the time about people wanting to be outside. Amapianas more South African. People want to dance. We say this every year about hip hop during December. Events, launching albums is never really the best time because we outside. So America's similar. I think they don't know if they're going from their fall to the summer in different parts or whatever, but there's a lot of that. Dreamville Festival happened. All these. So just with that in general, the music and the charts is almost going to be. I know artists will drop when they drop, but sometimes I feel music is that people listen to is reflective of the mood or what's going on. So like if I'm now traveling, if I'm outside, I'm going like to Portugal for Afro Nation. Shout out to the people there. Some of us on there feel some type of way, but anyway, But for me, I think that's also that it makes sense because even like now what we're seeing with the even America, some of the venues that rappers are performing at. Like who's got the clout to pull in a crowd at a big venue, or a lot of the ones who are now doing like your small, as they'll call them, the traditional mom and pop spots. Yeah, because even the bigger guys are like, either they're not going to tour now or do shows, or do I do a smaller venue? Do I have enough to pull, or I'm just going to be part of a lineup? Lineup. Like I know there are a few who are doing their own tours, and that's the good thing about America is. If for whatever reason you can always tour if you're a solidified artist. I was itching to say something, but that's the gist of my point.
Before we move, Google SA, what the point you just said, actually, going back to the question, it just reminded me of something. Guguti, we know the scientist, the sixth god himself. How we always like sees shit
when he did house
like from afar. No, let's not do that.
It was nicely segued into the Amapiano as a hip hop thing, but yeah.
Speaking for the sixth chord in that scene. But what I wanted to say, Wuti, it's crazy because you are asking what is hip hop then on a comeback, and I was saying what it seems like out there, it's on a decline. Yeah. But maybe I'm speaking about the previous season because your question is more focusing. Because looking at it now, saying about Buguti, Six God as a tour coming.
Okay.
It's been a while since Six God is always out there performing.
But it's also got an album coming, right?
He hasn't announced it though.
Yeah.
But Sengsho Luguti,
always rumors.
Yeah, that's word on the street.
But Sengsho Luguti, though, he has came out the gate and announced
a tour's coming.
Like the tour that I'm leaving Toronto. I'm pulling up to the whole of the world. Wrote an emotional letter,
as Drake would do.
As obviously Drake would do. But Sengsho Luguti might not. Wouldn't that be maybe one of the few factors that we look at in the coming back of hip hop? Of people like that. Setting up things like those.
Also, like that means for the first time in 10 years, he's not in the charts.
Yeah, it's unheard of, bro.
But
actually,
he's every year there's always been a Drake song on the charts.
Just like how this year there will be a number one Drake song.
So which means then hip hop will come back.
That is what
Drake is coming back.
That is what I'm saying.
I hear you. Because I'm just making it literal.
No, yes, because in Ginga now, it's other niggas realizing a Drake announcing some shit like that to say, hey, I need to be at the coattails of that. Because clean.
What music is he making?
Clean. Oh shit. There's that. You see, that's a problem with
Drake.
If it's Kendrick doing that, you're like, oh, Mr. Moral. I don't even know what this Mr. Moral shit is, but okay, we're rapping.
We're not expecting him to Kendrick.
Let me put up my rap album, let it be ready. Hey, with Drake, you never know, fam.
Yeah, but it's funny because I saw like last month's like monthly listeners chart for Drake, and Drake just made the top 20. That's unheard of. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, and the numbers are crazy, but it's still Drake just made the top 20. And then I started scrolling, and I ended up going like 200. I was just looking for rappers and R&B.
But I mean, so for me, I'm not too worried about it. I think if it's going through a decline, they just gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Because like maybe to get to SA, it does feel like our guys they're starting to figure it out. Mm-hmm. You know, like we just spoke of Resin and then the other one was who? Boiti.
Yebo.
I don't know if you saw that, Cash.
I saw the clip, yeah.
The freestyles.
It made me realize the difference between Instagram and Twitter. I've always known Twitter's a toxic app, but damn, bro. Y'all need to chill, bro.
Yeah, I'm so glad that's where you started off.
Yo, y'all need to chill, bro.
I really think
It's
No,
not.
never before I even address anything. I really feel like
Yeah,
I need
obviously.
to address that also because I think as we are coming back to address the state of like hip hop, there's people who need the voice out there. There's people who shouldn't have their own voices in hip hop who need people to guide them. Ngoba it was insane to me how, firstly, the difference between IG and Twitter.
It was glaring, bro. Just the commentary on the same freestyle.
Twitter was toxic.
Yeah.
Instagram
Was taking for the day.
appreciative.
Yeah, appreciative, yeah. And like people, and you know, for me, I'm like,
Even
oh,
the people who were sorry
Go for
to
it, yeah.
that. Even the people who were criticizing on IG,
They were doing
They were
it
just
like
criticized.
it was almost like an objective kind of way. Twitter was just toxicity, bro.
Twitter was trying to shit on point
Yeah.
person. Like
Whereas with some people on Instagram, more asking of, okay, where have you been? Or like wanting to know, because like obviously like rap is not really a main thing. You know, so when you have fans, sometimes it's almost you get the feel it's a starved of content kind of thing. And I think what I did like about just the difference, the Gram thing wasn't just fans gushing and, you know, being all positive and that kind of stuff. It was more of if you're the artist in her case, if you were to read those comments, you could probably get a proper sense of how to
how the people perceive.
yeah, how the
I mean,
person yeah.
I guess it doesn't matter because I listened to the video and then you just move on. Like I think she did Sauce Plata though first, right?
Yeah.
See, she was Splat the
Sauce
first,
Plata, yeah.
and then she did
And then the
Mbuzi.
Keenan one, yeah. Your thoughts?
My first thoughts on the Sauce Plata, funny enough, and I'm only saying this fine enough because fuck Twitter, because fucking Twitter. I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah.
There's some things that, and especially you guys, you would know me personally, there's things that I enjoy which I don't expect you, Teaser, to enjoy. You know, like, I don't even enjoy it in that sense. Like, I enjoyed it on some, oh, dope, Boyti is back. All right. Because to me, it's Boyti raps. And what I genuinely did not like is seeing people.
Captain didn't like it.
What did he say?
Get her out of here.
Really?
That's hip hop. That's fine. You see,
Yeah.
me, like, funny enough, I'm even fine with that. Like with that kind of. There's people who are trying to.
I mean, you don't have to take the individual. You can just criticize the 16 or
Yeah.
8 or whatever.
That was for me. That was the difference between Twitter and the Gram. Because not everyone was positive or it, but it was just one of those. You know, it's like people. It's like when people say, "Nah, that ain't it."
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say you.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, Captain didn't like it.
Yeah.
Anyway, actually,
And
let me.
that's
let
also
me
hip
form
hop,
my
like
own
Mahota's
opinion on this, right?
saying. That's hip hop.
So my opinion on Mina was, Boyti has been away of the scene because Vele, she is a part-time rapper. She's been away from the scene.
Yeah.
I bet. And then I was firstly surprised that that's the zone she thought of. And I will track back and ask, not y'all, but us niggas out there to be like, who rapped on the hottest song in SA after it became hot? Who first thought, let me just pass out?
Oh, it was the other homie.
Yo, which one?
I forgot his name. The guy that did it in Zulu.
Simple's gonna listen.
Beast or what?
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast.
Yeah.
Beast, yes. Beast did.
He got a
Beast did
backlashing. Yeah.
the first.
Oh, doing what? Rapping over social platform in Zulu.
Yeah.
Man, people don't know what they want.
Again, because it leads up to that shit. On
Yeah.
some like, just because you're not seeing your favorite rapper pass his ass out there, like over just like the dopest joint and just write something quick. And I'm not saying that's what Puri did. Do not get me wrong, but that's what you are hoping your best rapper does, and he doesn't do it. And now you have to rate everyone with what you think your favorite rapper would have done.
So can I ask, do you guys think people are used to official remixes? Because this is someone just taking a beat and rapping on it.
I think
this is hip hop at
Yo,
its
man,
core,
I'm
bro.
sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
what, but that's what I'm
Actually,
asking.
nah, I'm
Do
letting
you guys
loose.
think people expect
Actually,
everything
nah,
to be like an
fuck it.
official
I'm letting
remix?
loose. The problem is that people do not know music. I get what you are saying.
Yeah.
Like that, you should know both between the official remix and someone just passing out a freestyle on the beat. And cause to me, it was like a fucking topic actually, which I deleted. I think the issue is people inherently not knowing the difference. It's not that they expect this instead of this. It's them not knowing that there's a difference between the two. If this nigga calls me, it's like, yo, I have this hot song. Can you please pull up and do a remix for me because I need this? You go in and become one with what that song is. If I just jerk off a beat off the internet because the song is hot,
And spit on
I
it.
can rap whatever the fuck I want. Literally, the verse is rated on what are you trying to portray, and then we then rate you on what you're trying to portray. Because if then we have to think differently, it means the whole fucking No Ceiling series does not exist. It means Lil Wayne No Ceilings, then we do not rate it if we feel, hey, it has to be about. Lil Wayne literally took the hottest beats that were out and
was that like a hip hop crowd or what? Did you see some of them from hip hop?
Yeah, the hip hop crowd was the one, like the more, especially Gusosh Plata. The biggest like problem was how can you take Sosh Plata
To make it conscious.
and try to rap us some conscious shit.
Oh,
I'm
yeah, I
like,
saw that, I saw that, yeah.
we've never had Boydie rap conscious. For me, it was dope just to hear.
No, but
Oh, that's how you get
but
in
she's
your
always
conscious
done
bag.
that. She's always done that. Like even on Utatako remix.
She,
You know what I'm saying? Like she addresses the dead. She's like, you know,
I
like,
think the on that is because, like, she sounded like very.
no, it was the official
part
remix.
off.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
They
she did
criticize
it in
because
a
it was
remix
official
way,
remix.
and niggas
Like,
didn't say shit.
Bro, do you know my is getting animated? This is like,
Come on,
this whole thing is ridiculous
Niggas don't
because
fucking know rap,
because
man.
as far as rap and hip hop goes, this is the most standard thing. Anytime a song pops off, if it's fire, two things are gonna happen. The person who's behind that song wants it to keep charting, get more momentum. Let's do it. There's songs like gazillion remixes or a remix with like a million people on it. Like the One Blood remix had everyone in hip hop on it.
Yes.
Touch It, Busta Rhymes had everyone on it, bro. And then also like you look at how Slaughterhouse and those type of rappers always did. G-Unit, when G-Unit Radio was popping off, they even took R&B
the
songs.
hottest shit.
It was the hottest thing in New York.
hottest
They take R&B, right? But my point, okay, I think you see why Mahout and I are getting, I see why Mahout is kind of getting flabbergasted. It's a bit of a nonsensical misnomer perspective because for me it's simple. Any song that's hot, the artist who's
People
got that,
jump on it.
people will jump on it.
That's
It's
fine.
part of hip hop culture.
unknowns do all the time and no one complains.
No, exactly, because also if I'm an upcoming rapper, it makes perfect sense for me to showcase my skills on a beat that's hot, and I can bring my own perspective. If I'm a backpack rapper, if you're a conscious, yeah,
That's my friend now.
yeah, and I know he doesn't like that term, yeah, but I'm just saying, if you're a conscious rapper, if you're a street rapper, commercial, Vanek, whatever, you rap your way on that beat. You want to get a name for yourself because it's gonna be like, who's this rapping on this beat? Because that's the hottest beat right now. And then a lot of guys have gotten mileage, and like, let's check for this dude based on that. Like, even like with the freestyle, even with Freestyle Fridays, bro.
So let me flip it a little bit for y'all. But before I flip it, I want to know, what did you think? Did you like them or not, the raps?
Yeah, look, they were cool. For me, I just like the fact that she's.
The eye, right?
Yeah, she's coming back. Shout out to the person who shot the video for the social platter, like the range, the angles, the slow movie. It was shot.
shit was fire.
It was short, but shot very well. Yeah. So, but look, rap's so cool. I understand why some people might be like, get it out of here, or nah, that ain't it. And the good thing about hip hop and this culture is for the people who say that it's not completely stop rapping. It's okay, you're back, we're happy, but when you do step in the booth, up the ante. And I hope she takes that from that, yeah.
Niggas never know anyways.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, because there's now this, which is also part of like, is it coming back? There's like this trend now on, I think it's on TikTok, like where people do like a open verse challenge. And it seems like that's picking
Yes.
up. You know, I think there's one of Casper.
Casper is the current one going. I think that's the biggest one that's current.
Yeah,
going, like,
but also
open
you just
verse.
start to see it when you see things like, I mean, you just to see other rappers, like even like smaller rappers just doing that as
Getting
a promotion.
on it.
Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
they're doing open verses on Obviously, it pushes numbers and stuff, but there's actually a take up on it, and I'm wondering if that is another way of, it's not an official remix, but it's a way of actually just. It sounds like if you market your song like that, you want as many people.
All of them, all of them. Which is like,
You know what I mean?
all this critic doesn't make sense.
Bro,
Everyone
Latino
is,
Pounds is sitting in fucking Soch on some like, God damn, I can't believe Poetic got onto my song like that. I swear to you, that nigga sitting there on some like, this is exactly what I wanted. Because the sound Soch Plata is now continuing and moving along. And now with the TikTok shit, it's the same shit where, this is the hottest song. But a lot of people, you know how on some songs, especially songs which have features, how everyone is always man, you should have gotten Mang Mang on this song. It was going to be so dope. So TikTok is a great platform for those now.
Yeah.
Now the Mang Mang, if it goes on crazy, man, Envy should have been on this. Envy should have. Even someone who's well known like Envy can go into the challenge and be like, bet, unofficial remix, the vibe kind of shit,
But I must say, bro, I think the first time I had Soch Plata, we were at the Not Benjamin shit with Cash.
yeah, shout out to Not Benjamin.
Immediately.
shit.
So yeah, Bram shit, like whatever, Street Fest.
Yeah.
And I must say, like, I think it was my first one going there, and obviously Shazam was working very hard.
Hella, bro.
Performing,
Because you're with the kids.
Exactly.
Apple Watch is so cool. You don't have to
shit, 'cause you just do it here.
You know, like you don't need your phone, dog. You just like, because it looks so corny when you're just there with your phone.
Shazamming.
Or you're trying to hide it, like
Exactly.
You like press and then you do it.
And Shazam is a hella. The whole screen is blue. It's spinning. With the big S logo.
Sometimes like we can't hear the song.
Hold on, we're still trying.
It's a hard task.
It's a hard task. Hang tight.
Take it out.
Almost
Out
there.
there.
Man, I have to be like there. The whole and that logo be blaring, bro.
So we did Street Fest, dog, like immediately popped, and I was like, hit. I think there was 2 songs I shazammed that day. It was in November last year. It was Soch Plata and Bekele Beke.
Shit.
From his set, right? I was like, fucking dope songs. But I didn't think it was going to be this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know about you, Cash, but like obviously we saw it in the beginning, but I didn't think it was going to be this big. And
Do you know, I would like, for me, like, especially like, Big makes sense, but you know, Soch Plata, because of how it's melodic and how he performed it, he just
Mellow as shit.
that and you know, like Street
is it
Fest.
25? What is it? Like, what is it about it? Like, it's a combination.
I'm gonna
I think
come out.
it's
I'm
well
gonna
put
come out.
it.
Obviously, overall, it's the combination. So, no, don't kill me. But I'm going to come out and say, I think that might be the beginning of the 25K starter pack.
All right.
I swear, because guys, come on. And with him, Ulatinova Pound, it worked so well because it was a kid from the same hood. So I don't think the starter pack could have worked for everyone else, right? But the Pele kind of shit was after Pele Makaveli kind of knighted
Do you
25 as that straight Pretoria nigga. So when a young nigga who's speaking like Latinova comes and then 25 certifies it.
Can I ask you guys? Do you think it helps when they rap a bit slower? Because that song is like a slow song, right? It's
especially
not
with
like
Pretoria niggas,
it's not like Tata Soul songs.
Yes.
If you know what I'm
it's
saying?
rapping, like it's going off.
Yeah, because Tata is
It's
like
very weighty.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's very weighty.
and
You have to
also,
understand
like,
it.
more on the language stuff. Like you know, on the language, like Pretoria is not understood.
No, I get
You know what I'm
because
saying? Like, did this feel like a light lesson of Pretoria?
yes, because I think let me tell you from because I think I get what you're saying, Goba. From my Tswana, so to speaking, that a Tato soul is very wordy. Like, even if he's saying one thing in like an 8-bar, the amount of words he uses make me not understand the context.
And 25?
Whereas
'Cause 25 is a bit slow, but do you follow 25?
Whereas someone like a 25 and Latinova, especially on Sosh Plata, the same 8 bars has half the words. So already from an understanding perspective, that's
Could
less
follow.
word. And 2, because it's about like normal, like everyday shit, they try to use the simplest words possible. Even if it's still spitor, but it's the simplest words possible. So when he says something, even when I don't get it, he says it in a way which I get the context. Like, I'm like, I don't know what he was saying, but banyana, yeah. But he was confident. He wasn't like meek about banyana. He wasn't saying we are not getting banyana. He said it like, wabo, but it's slow and it
Emphasis.
just hits. There's the emphasis, kind of like the different. Even though it's not the same like comparison. But sort of like how a Kendrick and a Drake. Like a Kendrick sometimes becomes a bit too wordy for the normal listener. Even on a casual song, he says a bit too much. Whereas Drake is gonna say it in 3 words, and the whole crowd will be like, "I get you." You see, so
It's a West Coast. It's a West Coast
I think
thing.
it does. So to answer the question properly, it does have.
Did you guys eventually find out what Sosh Plata means?
Nah.
Well, I mean, for me, I think I always knew it was gonna be weird if it meant something different. Unless I just take the literal meaning.
What
Cause
is it?
so to me, how I first let me maybe tell the story. When Sosh Plata first, because I might be actually totally wrong on this, because I haven't heard the proper. So when Sosh Plata first came, the first thing I thought of was Nas. Because in KZN, that's
What is that?
Nas is umlazi number plate.
Okay.
So it's not NT, it's not N what, it's what, it's Nas. So it's very
Specific to
on
that.
its own, whereas KZN numbers are very
In Pine Town, and
whatever. Yabo? So to me, because of how that it became a sort of what do you call it? A badge of honor. Like Pumenas. And that is how you would be seen go to Nazi and going to the streets. That's how your car is not gonna be taken. If you NT please drive Elentosa, it would be fucked. So for me, when I first heard the song, without even listening to the lyrics, the first vibe it gave me was just the pride of having like that right.
Oh, you literally just took the Plata.
The literal, yes. That's why I gave you good meaning. I
Sosh.
only took the literal. Oh, so
Personally, I didn't know, bro.
that means once you get like the Sosh plates, you are known in the hood. You are like, yes, sir.
Yeah, sure, gents.
Awe.
Nick Swagger here. Yeah, so actually, we were chilling with Luz by the other day.
Shout out
And
to
we're-
Don.
Yeah,
Baba.
we're talking about fuck up punyet, exactly what it means. Remember, teaser?
Yeah.
So obviously that means like apply pressure or keep pushing whatever in the lingo, right?
Yeah.
And then the Sosh Plata, the actual meaning, I saw this on TikTok, by the way. The Sosh Plata is a number plate that you put on a stolen car. So the whole song is apparently about a stolen car. So if Ofaga
pressure on the number
Ofaga
plates.
Plata on top of Ofaga Sosh Plata, number plate yada, to cover up on a
Because you
stolen
cover
number.
up,
Yeah, so
because-
and then after that, if you listen to the song, it actually
I was
talks
actually
about
about to say, I was gonna
stolen
go
cars,
back.
'cause when the
Yeah.
guy is rapping, he's talking about Hokokote,
Yes.
whatever. But
Because I was going to
it's
go
about
back
stolen
with that's
cars.
why
Even the
they
music
like
video is about actually
Yeah.
Sosh Plat, like if
That
you
makes-
go Louis or Faga, whatever.
Hey.
It's literally just about.
Dog, that's the context I needed.
crazy.
Because,
Yeah.
That's
because
crazy.
on the actual song, they do speak about Papi is Neran X and Uchelulo for Ungawar. So Bamba, I don't know if it's a Bentley or whatever, but something, and then so if I got so
Because on the video, obviously
like,
they have the wagon, right?
Yeah, I get it.
25 comes with the wagon. I'm assuming it's stolen then.
Yeah.
On the video.
I get it, they have to keep it PC, but if that was a street video, that's really what they're trying to portray to someone who gets it, like how it's been explained. Ukuthi give ngafika kanjani mfethu ekasi ngiphethe ijiba nibani. Showcase isosplat.
Yeah.
Showcase why ngiva ekasi ngente so. Showcase uyazi ukuthi akisosplat afika.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Watch your eyes twinkle. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. Microphone check. Microphone